Hi y'all, what's up y'all? How everybody doing? Shout out to everybody in the chat with their thumbs jack. Man, let me shoot a disclaimer out there. Fair Use Act, education purpose use only. All rights, image, and music clip belong to their respective owner, and we do not claim ownership. Now look gang, I know we've been here for a while. We've been here how many years y'all? Trying to find out the truth and digging and searching and hitting these loopholes and all this old stuff. But I want to let y'all know now, goddammit, it's over with. Cause now I got established a timestamp on the live video. For a prime example, right? I swear to God, on everything I love, if everybody stop doing what they doing right now, if everybody stop doing what they doing right now, like, man, I want some justice for Kenneka. I want to know what happened to her. You know, this only thing I just want to know what happened. Let's get to it. Now, those live videos, the TY live videos, and Irene live videos, them one that 1 and 2 o'clock. They was at 11. They was at 11 after 11:30. Irene live was after 11:30. TY live was when he was getting there right at 11:30. Well, really 11:40, 8, something like that. So when he get there, boom, he would go live. They'll be round about 12, right? So that means that Kenneka made it in the hotel at 12:13. It would make sense. Before she made it in there, you got the Irene live video when she was in the room, her hair fixed up and everything. She ain't got them goddamn Michael Jackson mirror shades on, right? She just simply in the room playing on that radio clock with the radio playing this stuff, and she in the room. Now that's gonna be round 10 something when she first, if you watch the footage, Irene gonna show up, go live, but she gonna end up leaving at the hotel and come back right at what time? So now look, so watch this. And I'm finna expose everybody that was YouTube because they know one thing they knew that was in common. The family member was getting exposed on the footage and Rosemont dropped the paperwork. And when Rosemont dropped the paperwork, the YouTuber was like, we got to break this down. And we got to stir this narrative up quick. Cause if everybody find out that, hey, these people is well connected with Mr. Risa, why Mr. Risa claiming she don't know nobody at the party? But if you got Uncle John there, who y'all see on the screen, walking with the people that we always suspected in the beginning. When they come back, who was the dudes in the hoodie? The biggest talk was these bastards right here when they were coming in. That's when Zach was talking about, hey, in the Irene live video, hey, what time the dudes start showing up? What dudes? Oh, now I see why your questioning is the way it was. Cause you know when you got TY live video, Irene live video after 11:30, TY get there right at 11:30, right at 11:40, he go live, and next thing you know, bam, you got Kenneka on video. It would make sense why she would be walking in the lobby at 1 something. Check this out. I'ma let 54 Keys tell it all. Cause one thing what she did, she knew there was family on that footage, and it's gonna connect her back to Mr. Reese. it's gonna connect her right back to Mr. Reese. So now you finna see, oh damn, 54. No wonder why you explaining this narrative the way that you explaining it. That's why you track everybody down and came with a narrative, right? Watch this, y'all. Check this out. The Miguel connection. And then look, this was finna expose it all. Cause when they was leaving from wherever he was coming from, man, y'all, Bree is asking, is Smacks there? Keep that in mind. Guess who Uncle John gonna be with? Smacks them, the crazy crew. Look, that's what I said. That's a good time to offer the footage. Check this out. Now you finna understand why Lyra Nora was like, yeah, we got 5 more videos that she would still be in the room. But in reality, those videos was shot around 11 and 12 o'clock. And what she did was like, we gonna have those videos. We gonna show the world that, boom, there was that one something going on 2 something. That's why the hotel was like, well, damn, we got to bump the time up then. So, boom. Watch this, y'all.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm back. And I want to show y'all some shit real quick because I was watching that video that I put up about Bree and Monifa and them.
Bree,
and one of the things that kept sticking out to me was the fact that Monifa told us that they took Bree to go get a pill. Okay? So, yeah, I want to show y'all some shit. So, I'm going to start with this right here.
Check it out, y'all.
I know in the beginning, I covered Smacks and his crew. You know, I did a couple videos on them. But this nigga right here, this was Sticks. This Sticks right here. And I was so excited to get his statement that I kind of glossed over the beginning of his statement. And
now, keep this in mind. This family member, right? This the same dude that's on the footage that you see her in the same jacket. Same jacket. That's with the guys that everybody's expected that had something to do with Kenneka Jenkins. Now, I had people that were reaching out to me. And somebody told me this. Said, man, look, that's Wayne right there. That's Wayne. And I'm like, okay, that's Wayne. What's up with Wayne? Wayne had every bit to do with it. Here go Cocky. Lawrence Johnson, right? Lawrence Johnson is related to who? Him. Jonathan Johnson. And Wayne Anderson is related to the dude in the lobby that was meeting up with Kenneka. And what a coincidence, they will be coming in round about that same time. So let me break it down to you again. Watch this. Look how this finna make sense. Irene finna show up with who? Anisha, Charlotte, and another girl. I can't call her name, but it'll come up in the paperwork. But this girl here is Irene's cousin. She related to J Money and also Anisha Cox. They all related to Mr. Reese family, right? So when Irene went live, check this out. Boom, she come in the room. This who's gonna be in the room with her first live video. Bam. That's why you don't see these dudes in the first Irene live video. Look who all finna come up. Bam, once they come up, now check this out. Guess what time this is? Y'all see Irene finna boom, come back in the room. Guess what time this is? 10:50, finna go on 11. Family members already at the party. Now you got the dude that's related to who I showed y'all coming in. Wayne Anderson. You got Shiloh Anderson, I mean not Shiloh Anderson, but Irene. Her last name ain't Roberts. Her last name is Anderson. His name is Jarvis Anderson. He gonna be Kenneka gonna meet up with him, right? Where is it? Right here. Hold up. Damn, did I skip the jump? Right here. Jarvis Anderson gonna be related to Wayne Anderson. Now you get what I'm saying? Wayne Anderson. This so that means if this Uncle John, this means this gotta be Miss Teresa brother. That Miss Teresa brother. No wonder why you got an Uncle John in the paperwork. Look who he would be coming in with another Lawrence Johnson. So he is related to him and they brothers. So now you got two uncles. Hold up. So when Irene go live, check this out. When Irene come back in the room, right? Irene live gonna be at 11 something. Check this out. Kenneka get there at 11:13. Soon as she get in the room, bam, bam, bam. Soon when they get in the room, cause you gotta wait till Bree come back in the room, cause she got to be in the live video. So boom. So round about 11:30, she finna go live. Now this with TY coming in. This at 11:46. So at some point in time, Irene went live and Kenneka will be in the room. Now this at 11:50. Check this out. Bree had to leave out that room at 11:50. Right? Check this out. When Bree leave out that John 11:50, look who all coming in, family members and everything, right? Bree come in. Bree got a red energy bull drink. Now this at 12. Now TY went live at some point in time. You got to wait till they come back in. Wait till they come back in. Boom. Now look. This at 12:21. So look, soon when they come back in, go upstairs. That's why you got Bree is not in TY live video. Right? So this shows you proof that bam. Hey, this shit was at 12. And Irene them know this, the mama know this, and Teresa know this. That's why they said we got video that said 2 something. They said 3 something. Now you see why they had to switch that narrative up. So look, this at 12:33. Now look what's on the scene. Now look. Soon with TY get through going live, you got the family, more family coming in. Bam. They coming in. So at this time, Kenneka got to be coming outside that hotel at some type of exit. Cause she got to make it out the room. Once she make it out the room, she got to be in the lobby. Look at the time. Now this at 1:03. Scroll, more dudes come in. Bam. This at 1:04. So now you know TY live is over with for sure at 1 something. Cause everybody outside the room and you got people coming in, then security on the move, then you got the brothers coming in with these guys. Bam! Now you got a Kenneka in the lobby. Exactly at 1 what this? 1:16. Now that's at 116. So soon she get through meeting up with him, it popped off that fast because at 125, Man will be coming in. That's just a couple of minutes. You see what I'm saying? Overpowered, bam, bam, bam. Now look. Now we know where they trying to get through. They ain't trying to go to room 926. Not right now. Shit still popping off. Exit this footage. He trying to get to where they going. Where he just left from back to the other way. 125. She already text messaged her sister talking about she was ready to go. Look. You got the lady coming in. With the little boy. She's a part of it too, cause she come in with the dude with the gray hoodie. 5 minutes after Man come in, Bree come in. Boy, it's finna get hype. So when Bree came back in the room, I thought that's when Irene would go live. Cause they wanted us to believe, bam. Yeah, Irene live was at 1 something. They stuck it. There was at 1 something. Now we know that was at 11 something. So that means when Bree came back in the room, what was really going on in the room? Look. So that means if this at 1:30, that means when you get the Irene live, and we know that's at 11 some. So look what would be going down at 1 something. So boom. More family coming in. Then 30 minutes later, going on 2 o'clock, everybody come out the room. Exactly at 2 something. Not what Leonora want us to believe. No, they wasn't in the lobby, y'all. They was still in the room. You can hear my sister talking about that's a manager at the door. And speaking of that's a manager at the door, don't it make sense if it was a manager at the door and said don't call the cops, right? So that means Kenneka had to leave shortly after that. And if that's at 12 something TY live video going on 1 o'clock, this explains everything. That's why she would be in the goddamn lobby at 1 something. That make perfect sense why she would be in the lobby at 1 something. That's why Leonora was like, if we could show the world the video that she was in the room at 1 something, right? They're gonna have people think she in the room. But Rosemont was like, look, this at 1 something. But since Leonora told everybody we got videos at the she in the room. And she clearly said, yeah, we got videos in the room. You see this at 2:40, this at 2:30. Then Irene live video, yeah, that's at 1 something. So they added, boy. There you go, Josh. You seen how everybody showed up. You see how everybody showed up when they finna bust a lick? So look, boom, 113. Bam. That's why Leonora said, yeah, they got my sister coming. Y'all remember? I need to play Leonora's statement when she said, this finna make sense. When Leonora on the news station and said, they said when they saw Kenneka, they saw her entering the hotel around. Well, she didn't say entering the hotel. She said at the back, in the back of the parking lot at 113. So that means at 113, she had to been in the parking lot. And guess who it would be with? more family members. No wonder why Livernoir would know everything on the footage. Cause Livernoir, if you look at Livernoir was the only motherfucker was stamping timestamps on a video. You see this in the video, this was this time, but when it come to the mother story, she don't know nothing about this time shit. So to make a long story short, I just want to break this down. Lou was at one song. Bam. One song. The girl finna get hit. Bam. She come out that motherfucker. Boom. Look how quick everything escalate. That's why you're going to need that footage, because that footage finna back everything up. So look, boom, Bree come back in there, bam. Look, when Bree come back in there, she had to been with him. Then she texting on the phone talking about it Smack's there. Smack's gonna be there with Kenneka uncle. So this means this is goddamn it Kenneka fucking uncle. Watch this, y'all.
I'm gonna read it to you. It says, on September the 28th at approximately 12:30 hours, the lieutenant and the sergeant made contact with Sticks while they were exiting the residence of Miguel. Sticks advised he heard they had been looking for him and the interview was completed. Okay, so understand, what they just told us right here was the fact that when they left that nigga named Miguel house is when they ran into Sticks. And Sticks then walked up on these motherfuckers like, yeah, I heard y'all been looking for me type shit. You understand what I mean? But it raised a couple questions because I'm like, okay, who the fuck is Miguel? And why were they leaving the house? Nigga, what did you tell them? Because I don't have Miguel's statement. There's no statement for him. If y'all got it, you know, shit, send it to me. Because I ain't got it. But who the fuck is Miguel? And so, yeah, I went searching for this nigga. And I reached out to a couple YouTubers who, you know,
them her family. Them YouTubers is her family. And watch how she finna have family name in her mouth. After when she talking about YouTubers, she finna break all this shit down and then say, yeah, cause you know me and my family members came to a conclusion like, yeah, you know what, bitch?
Supply me with a lot of information. Some of it made sense, some of it didn't. You know, but yeah. Let me introduce y'all to that nigga. Yeah, this is Miguel, okay? I don't know his real name, but this is what they call him. And on Facebook, he goes by Miguel Gomez.
Now you finna find out who the security guard named Juan. Y'all remember when Friends K was like, it's a security guard working that night too, and his name is Juan. Now you finna find the other security guard. Cause when you looking for one, y'all straight up finna look for a straight up full breed Mexican. No, not the black one, that's Migo. You see what I'm saying? So when I was looking, check this out. Everybody's a witness when I was like, y'all, when I was looking up the Kenneka background, I'm like, man, this shit coming back to a lot of Mexican names like Rodriguez and shit. And Rivera, you know what I'm saying? And now you see why. Now you see why, bro. Check this out.
And understand this, they was leaving this nigga house when they ran into Sticks. So I wanted to know, who the fuck is he? Like, what did y'all talk about? Where's your statement? Because I haven't seen your statement. Now, one of our family members pointed out the fact that, you know, that, okay, so she sent me all the narratives. And she pointed.
See that? She busted. YouTubers sent you the narrative and that was your family and y'all trying to come up with a narrative to really clear their name, but you got to expose them just to clear their name. All right.
Pointed out the fact that there were two narratives missing. And I took that to mean that there's 2 witness statements unaccounted for, okay? And first off, I want to know why. Why the fuck we ain't got the statements? And then, most importantly, too, is who do they belong to? You understand what I'm saying? Now, I would think that we would have a statement from Miguel if y'all was leaving that nigga house. So, I mean, y'all just told us that. So, we know y'all talked to that nigga. Where's his statement? You understand what I mean? But, yeah, so I wanted to know a little bit more about him. So I went looking for him. And I reached out to a couple other YouTubers. And shout out to Sam, man. And, you know, a couple others that you know, don't want to be mentioned. But they supply me with a lot of information that, you know, I'm able to research, check on my own, and it makes sense. And like I said, I went and searched for this nigga, and I was all through his motherfucking Facebook page. All through that. On some nosy shit, right? And I found a couple pictures. And I found pictures with him connected to Smacks and his crew. Yeah. That's that nigga right there. The third one from the left in all black. That's him. That's Miguel. Then I found pictures of him with Peas and Killer. Okay?
Now, this is all family. Keep that in mind. This is all family, bro. But this is family taking pictures with each other. But when we see it, we thinking like, look, that go the gang them. They go Western them. Man, you might well just gonna say, man, that's a family. They go, cause they don't take pictures with nobody else. Hold up. You finna link him back to Peas. Now you finna link Peas actually back to the security guard. One.
Yeah. And then I was also sent some pictures that included this one right here with him and Mike. Okay? Yeah. So yeah, he fucks with them. You understand what I mean? And not only that, I found a picture of him with Bree with that shit over her face. Look at her, looking all scary and shit.
That's with Bree boyfriend at the time. Now Miguel used to be up under the profile of Trey Tremaine. You see what I'm saying? That's who she fuck with. That's why she would be in the picture. They had a sexual relation. So I'm trying to see, like, you know, because I don't think Bree probably related to them. I believe Bree was just fucking with Mitch Reese's family members. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, that my bitch, you know what I'm saying? And you know, she down and you know all this shit. Look. Damn it.
Again, he knows these niggas. And this right here, I wanted to put this up here because I want y'all to pay attention to the fact that he took a photo of this tattoo, which is his mother. Krista is her name. That's his mother. Like I said, I was all through his motherfucking Facebook page. Okay? And he got a couple brothers, and I think one of them died. But yeah. And then I think he got like 2 or 3 sisters. Okay? But not only that, this motherfucker on his Facebook page got all kind of shit about selling pills. That's what he does.
Now you see why the police statement mentioned when it come to Bree. Yeah, Bree, tell me about the pill. Ah, okay, yeah, we had to stop here before we go to the hotel and go get a pill. I mean, her nigga got the pill. Don't that make sense? That Bree nigga got the pill. Kenneka people.
I mean, I'm talking about his motherfucking cell phone number, hit me up. I got the best shit in town, all that. all up on his Facebook page. That shit blows my mind, man, because understand this. And if I got some niggas over here that do that kind of shit, listen, stop that. Stop doing that. That shit don't look good. You understand what I mean? The last thing you should be trying to do on Facebook, nigga, is sell some weed and motherfucking some pills and shit, nigga, just. No, stop doing that. And for my young ladies out here, listen, them the niggas you stay away from. Don't fuck with them. No, no, and no. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, but anyway, so one of the things that stuck out to me, like I said, excuse me, about Monifa and them taking Bree to go get a pill. Okay, we didn't find out who she bought the pill from. Where did y'all take her? I mean, shit.
So this post along with making sense is that's Bree nigga and he making posts about this. Look how they trick the public. See what I'm saying?
Did y'all take her to Miguel's house? You understand what I'm saying? Cause I know he the nigga with the pills. Shit, go to his Facebook page. You want to buy some pills? Call that nigga. That kind of thing. Okay? Yeah. So I just wanted to know where the fuck did they take Bree and if they took Bree to Miguel's house. Why don't we have a statement? It's a couple questions that I have. But
that's why she even mentioned it. Why would she say anything about Bree going to Miguel's house about pills? If it took us damn near 8 years to figure this shit out, what Bree talking about getting a pill from and you just solved the biggest pill theory in the world? Who else Bree would get a pill from if her nigga got pills? Look who in the chat. Johnson's and the Mays and the Gomez.
Not only that, let me show y'all this. Y'all remember that video that I put up about the housekeeper? And I think that this statement belongs to this little nigga right here. Y'all remember? Y'all remember that little nigga talking about he ain't want to talk in front of his supervisor? Yeah, him. I think this statement belongs to him. And y'all remember in his statement, they was asking him about his brother. They ain't asked no other employee about their motherfucking brother. That shit wasn't in the general manager statement. It wasn't in the front desk clerk statement. None of that. No other employee. They asked this nigga about his brother. And then, not only that, they asked him if he had been to that room, 926. And he said no. He claimed he didn't even know Kenneka type shit. So I'm like, yeah, okay. They was on this nigga ass. And like I said, they asked him about his brother.
And guess who you finna trace Little Meek back to? Back to Miss Teresa family. That's the crazy part about it. Just imagine what Miss Teresa had to be going through when the public out there exposing these people and them her family member, boy, you know they had to go to work. You know they had to, bro. Look.
So the more and more I thought about it, I think this right here goes together. The housekeeper and this statement. And then y'all remember that interview that Grove did with the dude in the hotel? Y'all remember that shit? Let me show y'all. Y'all remember this right here?
The way that they're doing it is absolutely.
So look, I swear to God, when he said, oh, she went back there, she walked in that freezer. Actually, if you listen to his narrative, that shit finna hit different. Cause you're gonna be like, damn, you know about the footage, you know that at some point that she walked back there because that's where the kitchen is. That's where the private area is. That's where everybody is. So look, when you look at Lil Rod Jackson, that go back to J Money. Darius Davis, that's all linked back to Miss Teresa. Once I did research, this is two families going to war with family, bruh. I ain't even know. If you go look at the BDs, go look at those last names. Y'all look, check this out. Man, the Davises got a history when it comes to the BDs slamming shit with kids. Matter of fact, check this out. Y'all remember the Breonna Jenkins? The Breonna Jenkins case, right? You know, then the girl got killed. You know, guess who did it? Man, you got two families. So this what is finna explain this. I put this on everything. That's 01, that's 051 Millie getting off the elevators. That dude that's in the gray hoodie that was up there with Miss Teresa, that's that Bezoo dude. Them two rappers dude. That's them two rapper dude that was there at the fucking party. That's why when it comes to everybody on the footage, you can identify everybody on the footage. But mysteriously, you can't identify him. And you can't identify him. But I know who this is. That's that dude named Turner. That's Leonora cousin. That's that dude that Leonora Miss Teresa be sharing his post. That's that dude named Turner. His last name is Turner. So, check this out.
You're not gonna open it up. You're not even gonna think she was more than drunk. Like she was off that pill. Nobody know what that pill was, but the detective, they came to my house to talk to me about that shit.
I mean, do y'all think that's the same guy? I mean, because I'm starting to think that it is. And y'all heard what he just said. They came to his house talking about some motherfucking pills. You understand what I mean? And so, in my mind, I mean, shit. Well, while they was at your house, nigga, did they talk to Miguel? Was you at Miguel's house? Like,
what? So you got she telling y'all Bree linked up with Miguel with the P that's with her niggas, and when they had to bump in to Little Meat Avenue, they gotta go to Miguel house, and guess who Miguel mammy is? This finna go back to me, Teresa. So that means you can link the housekeeper right back to Miss Teresa, and she know this.
do y'all live together, nigga? I don't know. You know, but we got to try to connect the dots. But one of the other things that I want to point out to y'all real fast is that, remember in the beginning, we kept hearing the name Jamar Beach. Remember him? At the bottom left hand of this picture right here, a lot of people, some people speculated that Jamar Beach was the housekeeper.
Jamar Beach? Why Jamar last name? Why they call him Beach? Maybe you got to go to Beauty Beach 35. Shit. Don't let me pull Beach Beauty. And you got who? So once you link Beach Booty, guess who the Beach Booty related to? Then you can be like, damn, that was YouTube and all of them collaborate with Straight Draw. What the fuck is going on? Look.
Out of hand of this picture right here, a lot of people, some people speculated that Jamar Beach was the housekeeper. And y'all,
Jamar Beach. Whoa, and you got Beach Booty mentioning, yeah, you know, one of the maintenance man's sons and stuff. Hold on, man. Let me do this shit right quick. Hold up. So I confirm this stuff. Beach Booty 35. What? Beach Booty 35. None about no motherfucking beef. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait, whoa. Wait a minute. You mean this Beach Booty? They're talking about the. Let's go to the popular video. This Beach Booty. This same Beach Booty.
of this picture right here, a lot of people, some people speculated that Jamar Beach was the housekeeper. And y'all, I don't know, because they might be on to something with that shit, because on Jamar Beach page, thanks to Sam, shout out to you, babe. Jamar, there's a post on his Facebook page where he's talking about that he's looking for his mother, which is Krista. Y'all remember the tattoo that Miguel had going across his neck. And in that post, like I said, he's asking, like, where is she? Now, he might not be, you know, he might just be a half-brother, and that's what me and Sam was going back and forth about. He might be just a half-brother. But in the beginning, this is who people speculated was the housekeeper. So how ironic is that him and Miguel share the same mother, Krista?
Told y'all. Put that together.
You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I'm gonna let y'all think about that. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. I mean, is there a connection here? I mean, between Miguel and this Jamar guy? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, cause now you got Beach Booty, Straight Drop, and you collaborate with Beach Booty 254. Look at it, all this shit. That's why she know how to look. All of this shit. Look. Killing these folks with this shit. Man, she killing these folks with this shit, with the anonymous email. Know what I'm saying? Pow! Let's go to this.
Put that shit in the comments, man, and I'll be back. I got something else. Hey, what's going on, y'all? So, listen, I've been checking my my emails, and you know, I just did a video on Smacks, and I'm asking, like, who is Smacks? You know what I mean? Because I thought that was like a really important question. You know, because I showed y'all the discrepancies and shit, and we'll go over that again. But remember, I was trying to figure out who he was, and I thought maybe, you know, it was somebody that Bree was checking for, you know, because she sent that text like, and it smacks there. And then remember, I showed the dude in the black hoodie. So if y'all ain't seen that video, y'all can go watch it, because you know, this is kind of like part 2 to that.
So now this what you finna do. Now you finna link Bree was texting this nigga and Smacks them. Cause he gonna be with Smacks them. Right? And Smacks them is gonna be related to this nigga that Kenneka will meet up with, Jarvis Anderson. So watch this. This is Uncle John. 54 just broke him down. His whole statements. Miss Teresa family. And guess what time he had to be taking these statements? When he was at the hotel with Miss Teresa. That's why they was there.
Well, my thing is this. I had a couple emails
Again,
from my
email.
subscribers, and it was something to think about. And a couple people were saying, hey, like, maybe Smacks was the nigga Kenneka was feeling. Maybe Smacks is the nigga that Kenneka was checking for. So I looked into the shit. And you know what? Y'all make sense. If you send me an email about Smacks, y'all make sense. But there's one subscriber in particular. I'm gonna call her Nene. Because, you know, I don't know if she want me to put her shit out there like that. So I'm gonna call her Nene.
And watch this. When you look at this at 110, I swear 54 Keys broke that shit down, and she had to break this shit down to expose herself. Cause once they got your mind, brother, you would swear this was 310, but this at 110. And one time you seen Kenneka in the lobby, and boom, woo, wait. I ain't got to say no more.
But she sent me a picture of this nigga right here. And so I'm like, damn, is that Smacks? Is that the nigga we looking for?
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, but shit, how many niggas in Chicago go by the name Smacks? That's what I want to know. But y'all raised a good question. What if Smacks was the guy that Kenneka was checking for, and we're looking at evidence, but we're looking at it the wrong way? So remember when I showed y'all Bree's statement, and Bree, like, you know, she left at 2:15, 2:30, but then she tells us that she sent a text to Kenneka a little after 3 o'clock, like, and it Smacks there. And like I said, at first glance, to me, it felt like Bree was checking for a nigga. But maybe.
Now you see why, cause round 12:30 going on 1 o'clock. What you think that's finna happen? Look. Look at this. This at 1 something. So when you see this, watch how Bree finna get exposed. Ooh, 54 Keys, Jack.
Maybe Kenneka was waiting on Smacks to get there. And I had one of our sisters leave a comment in up under the video, and she was saying, she said, to me, it felt like Bree was checking for a nigga. But maybe Kenneka was waiting on Smacks to get there. And I had one of our sisters leave a comment in up under the video, and
did she say one of her sisters? Stop it. Here we go again. Y'all heard it out her mouth again. Yeah, you know, one of our sisters had to leave a comment, and guess who Kenneka would be meeting up with? Jarvis. So they trying to confuse you who Smacks was. So guess who, when Kenneka was trying to meet up, it just say, yeah, she wants y'all to believe that meeting up with Stat. She met up with somebody, but that's named Jarvis Anderson.
She was saying, she said, she brought up the fact that Kenneka was waiting on Smacks to get there, and I had one of our sisters leave a comment in up under the video, and she was saying, she said, she brought up the fact that Kenneka in the beginning, and I remember hearing this, but Kenneka, they convinced Kenneka to go to the party because some guy was gonna be there. And I can't remember where it came from, but I remember hearing that shit in the beginning. It was because you know, it was like, damn, they lured her there by telling her some nigga was gonna be there. So, okay, like I said, with Bree's statement, Bree sends out the text message like, and it Smacks there. Okay, and then, you know, in that last video, I highlighted those 4 niggas. Remember, I said Wayne, Cocky, Hollywood, and Smacks.
So now look, now you just link Hollywood has got a baby mama, Charlotte Jackson. He got a baby by J Money people. Gotta be his sister or his niece. 9 times out of 10, it may be his niece or his sister or cousin, one of them. Cocky is Lawrence Johnson. Wayne Anderson. Smacks is who? Guess who Smacks is? Now check this out. Now after this, don't y'all see who they left out? What? Now y'all see who they left out now? Cause he ain't Smacks, he ain't Hollywood, he ain't Cocky, he ain't Wayne. Guess what's his name gonna be in the police paperwork? Alright.
Because they was in the police report, and then we broke down their statements. Now you got Wayne. Well, let's start with Cocky. Cocky said they got there at about 2:45, 3 o'clock. Okay, and he tells us who he's with. He says he's with Hollywood, he's with Wayne, he's with Smacks. Now, then you had the other nigga that was with him, Wayne, because remember we didn't.
Now once you look at the timestamp, now you see they arrive at 1 soon when the setup finna happen. At 1 some in the lobby. Hi y'all.
Didn't know if this was Wayne or a 5th guy. Remember I said that? Well, no, this is Wayne, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. But look at what Wayne said. Wayne said they got there at 1 o'clock. Okay, like, and then he tells us that he's with these niggas. He says that he's with Smacks, Hollywood, Cocky. And then it was somebody, remember they were saying was X or Sticks. And remember, I was like, shit, you know, either this is Wayne or Wayne go by Sticks and this is a 5th nigga.
No, cause the paperwork's finna be making look like, well, X is a totally different person. They talking about him. Ooh, so that's why it was a conflict in the paperwork. That's why 54 trying to help stir that narrative. Well, where is Wayne is X? Is Smacks X? I believe these the same people, but these 2 individuals. Look who they got to protect. Him.
Talking about that he was with Smacks. But it wasn't. It was Wayne giving this information. And I'm going to tell y'all why. I found out that X and Sticks, you know, which of course is the same motherfucker, but that's Uncle John.
Uncle John, I told y'all. So she know who Uncle John is.
Uncle John. And I'm looking into this nigga right now too. But Sticks goes by Uncle John. Okay? So my thing is this. First off, why is there such a big discrepancy in the time that you and your niggas got there, and y'all was together? Nigga, y'all
Told y'all, cause look what would be going on there one song. Perfect lit.
was together. How one nigga gonna tell us y'all got there at 1 and then your other nigga saying y'all got there at 2:45? Now listen, I can see, you know, if a nigga off 20, 30 minutes, nigga, I give you that. 20, 30 minutes. But a whole hour and 45 minutes, nigga, that don't sound right to me. That shit don't add up. And then not only that, I showed y'all Smack's statement. This nigga said he wasn't even there. So not only is there a discrepancy in your nigga's time, Smacks removed himself from the scene completely. Completely. That nigga, he ain't want no parts of that shit. And it was like, damn, like, nigga, your boy said you was there. Now you gonna come and tell us you wasn't there? Why would he remove himself from the scene completely? Yeah, and then, not only that, I want y'all to pay attention to the times. Bree said when she got back, it was a little after 3:10 in the morning, and there was 20 more people showed up at the party. She called out Wayne, Smacks, Cocky, and then it's somebody that's blacked out, but then you see Uncle something. That's Uncle John. So let's sum this shit up so I can show y'all how I'm viewing this. So it appears to be, you know, like Kenneka was lured to this hotel thinking that some nigga was gonna be there. And it might be Smacks. We don't know. It might be this nigga right here. We don't know. But remember that phone call from the beginning, and I played it in a couple of my other videos, so I wasn't gonna play it again in this shit right here because, you know, at this point we should all know that shit verbatim. We should know that shit word for word at this point. But remember when dude, he kept saying Kenneka was there and she was fucking with one nigga. And remember I said, who is this one nigga? Like, we need to find him. You know what I mean? Like, who is he? It might be Smacks. It just might be Smacks. But let's look at this shit real quick. Wayne said that they got there at 1 o'clock. And in his statement, he told us he was with Cocky, Hollywood, Smacks, and Uncle John. And then Bree wanted us to think that she left the hotel at like 2:15, 2:30. But then Cocky said that they didn't get there till about 2:45, 3 o'clock. And in his statement, he tells us he's with Hollywood, Smacks, and Wayne. He left out Uncle John. Why wouldn't he tell us Uncle John was there? You know, that's just something to think about. I got to look into that. But my thing is this. Let me take you back. My thing is this. If Bree left at 2:15, 2:30, and Wayne saying that they got there at 1, how the fuck did she miss them? You understand what I mean? Like, how did she miss them? Is she lying? Or is Wayne lying? Or did Wayne and them actually get there at 1 o'clock? And then, you know, then my question is, then shit, nigga, if Bree didn't see you, where were you? Another room, maybe? The parking lot? Where were you? And then you got Cocky talking about y'all showed up at 2:45. So Cocky want us to believe that y'all got there after Bree left. That's what I like, man. I don't know. It's something about Bree, man. I ain't. It's something about that girl. But then she tells us when she got back to the hotel after 3 o'clock that these niggas was there. She said Cocky, Hollywood, Uncle John, and Smacks.
So check this out. So now you got everybody communicating right at once soon when it's finna go down with Kenneka. So that's why the police never revealed those text messages between Bree, Smacks, Uncle John phone, linked back to Miss Teresa. What to Miss Teresa text messages, Leonora text messages. It's a lot of text messages that we need for that night. Cause clearly you got these people on footage claiming victim. You got him staring at the cameras like, what happened to Kenneka? I'm just so concerned about her. Look, and then this explains why Leonora want everybody to believe this live video was at one something. Cause that's finna protect everybody in the room. If you had the world believing that Kenneka's still in the room instead of on the lower level, so the hotel ain't had no choice but fuck with that timestamp. Cause guess who the public gonna go with? Leonora and Miss Teresa off top, cause they victim. Whatever timestamp they say, it goes.
So something's wrong here, y'all. What are we missing? We're
Nothing
missing
now.
something.
We ain't
And
missing shit
y'all, I
now.
want y'all to go back over this shit, look at this shit, send me some emails, comments, whatever. But I mean, do y'all understand where I'm going with this? I hope I ain't confusing y'all with this
Watch
shit.
this.
But
Let's go to one song. She
My name is
exposing
Larry Rice.
everything.
I'm a member of Rice Law, and when I'm standing in court,
what's up, y'all? It's 54 Keys, and today I want to talk about this video that Straight Drop put up today. Shout out to Straight Drop.
Told you.
But in this video, he
And
talked-
once some everybody got agenda. Hide this shit and cover this shit up at one something. Cause look, once you get to thinking the Irene live video, we so used to that motherfucker at one something, TY live video at two some, then they got the girl in the hallway at three some. Now you see what that two little video Irene and TY can make a big difference. Cause if that's at 11:30 going on 12, knock it up 2 hours. Now that's gonna go straight to 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. Then they finna make a conspiracy theory about 3 a.m. Jack.
about this Facebook post. This Facebook post really bothered me, but I'm gonna show y'all this post. It's by a guy named Lawrence Johnson. Now I don't know who the fuck he is. Maybe y'all can tell me.
Now everybody know who Lawrence Johnson is because he came in with him. Right? So now you know Lawrence Johnson is related to who? Uncle John. That's why Straight Drop, then when you look at Straight Drop, he look just like him.
But anyway, in this Facebook post, he's saying that the video was made, which he's talking about the live, one of the lives was made around 1 or 2 in the morning. But he didn't get to.
So he just exposed himself. Yeah, that video was made around about 1 and 2 in the morning. It was already made. They just released it at 1 and 2. I remember this, y'all. If you a real die-hard fan, that very day on September the 9th at 1 something in the morning, I get a notification on Facebook. It's a video saying a best friend said best friend up to get raped. I said, what? Click on that, John, and guess what I see? Irene live video. So I'm like, damn, that's at 1 something. So guess what that's embedded? I'll never forget about 1 something. I'll never forget about 1 something. I'm so glad I did, cause now I know why they released that video at 1 something and delete the motherfucker.
To the hotel until about 3 in the morning, and Kenneka was in the room drinking, kicking it, and having a good time. So at 3 o'clock in the morning, he's basically saying when he got there, Kenneka's good. She's alive. She's good. But it really bothered me because I couldn't understand, like, what the fuck they keep coming up with this 3 o'clock in the morning shit?
Leonora, because if you got everybody believing in Irene, he finna follow along with the suit. Yeah, that video around 1 and 2, because when I got in the room at 3, she was good. She was still in the room. Man, if you from the hood and just say, man, if you got a person from the hood and lied to you and all of this old shit and you figure out that's what you lying about, you could bust a whole goddamn ass with that. So now you see why he following suit. Yeah, cause man, look, that video was around 1 and 2 in the morning. I ain't make it to the hotel around 3 a.m. Keep this in mind, Kenneka supposed to be in the room having a good time, hugging out long peas and shit. Everybody happy to see her, and she dancing and partying. And you see what he's saying? Yeah, you know, it was a live video. It's crazy how some people think negative. Y'all ass following don't even think for yourselves. Even you fucking celebrities. Well, why you think of celebrities? And radio personality people, how the fuck you gonna say some shit that people saying on Facebook? Cause y'all release it on Facebook. That's why when it come to the Facebook, Kilo Brown, Leonora, Irene, everybody that was there had something to do with it. They had to delete everybody, deactivate everybody's Facebook and social media account. The reason why everybody had to delete, they had to deactivate that shit, cause everybody was going on their page and slowly figuring out, like, damn, you going back to Mitch and Reese family. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Like, I mean, because I'm one that believes that Kenneka was gone already. And I got, you know, my reasons for that, and I'll share it with you.
Why you think she would be gone already between 1 and 2? I'm anxious to hear that.
In this video, but he wasn't the only guy that said that. The juvenile that they interviewed, he even said, Kenneka and her 2 friends left the room at 0300 hours, which is 3 o'clock. So again, what 3 o'clock? Lenora, she gave a statement to the police, and in her statement, she said that she stated her sister was at the hotel in room 926 the previous night for a party. She said her friends came home early in the morning and advised her sister was last seen in the hallway on the 9th floor when they went back to get her keys and her phone. Lenora said her friends told her Jenkins waited outside in the hallway, and when they came back out, she was gone. Lenora said Jenkins did not have her phone because she left it in the hotel room. Lenora advised her friends last saw Jenkins in the hallway on the 9th floor around 2:30 in the morning. So why the fuck would Monifa and Shamaya tell Lenora that they left Kenneka out in the hallway at 2:30?
Simple. That was just a lie to tell the public. That's all. And have everybody stirred up on that shit.
There may be some truth to that. Because like I said, I believe that she was gone around 2 something. And you know, I'll share with you why. But I believe that she was already gone. So why would they tell her that? But let's look at what they said to the police. Especially this bitch right here. If we look at her statement, in her statement, she's basically saying that her, Kenneka, and Maya walked out of the hotel room to leave the party shortly after 3 o'clock in the morning.
So they got Monifa to go out with the same story about 3 o'clock. And guess the whole purpose of this 3 o'clock, because you got to protect Miss Teresa at this point. Because if everybody want justice and all this old shit, bruh. If everybody want justice for Kenneka, these people finna block this shit from you. Because guess what? Everybody sticking to the script. Oh man, I last saw her at 2 something. Irene said I last saw her at 2 something. Monifa, when you said you last saw her, she ain't never, you know what I'm saying? She ain't never just gave a particular timestamp when she saw her. Shamaya never gave a timestamp when she saw her, right? So you see how everybody following the script at 3, and you don't think Miss Teresa know what's going on Kenneka phone round about this time? That's why the police want that motherfucker.
She stated that they realized they did not have Kenneka's cell phone and keys when they were in the hallway outside the hotel room. And basically saying that they went back in the room to get her shit, and when they came back out, she was gone. So my thing is, y'all was leaving the party after 3 o'clock? I mean, that makes no sense to me, because we're going to get in the Bree statement. But that makes no sense to me. And where the fuck are y'all getting 3 o'clock from? And where was Kenneka?
So look, 3 o'clock is 1 o'clock, so it ain't no mystery what's going on now. So when they whole narrative trying to say, yeah, they left in the hallway, they still placing they self at a murder scene. Cause 3 o'clock is one some, you know what I'm saying? And this what the video gonna show. Everybody gonna be with that girl. They gonna tell you, hey, we had to leave that girl and go back and for the keys and the phone. So if you look at it like this, damn, soon when Kenneka met up with dude, Bree come back in that motherfucker, man, them gray hooded, they went back upstairs. And once they went back upstairs, goddamn it, you know what I'm saying? Something was going on in the room, you know, cause Kenneka ain't in that joint. But when they went back up there around 2 o'clock, they back in the lobby going back to the murder scene. At 2 o'clock. So while they were going back to the murder scene at 2 o'clock, on the video gonna show 4 o'clock. Listen to these bastards. You swerving down. This is a fucking search. Oh, there they go. They searching for her, y'all. It's 4 o'clock on the footage. Man, y'all better read between Miss Teresa drunk ass lies, cause you know all of this shit is drunk talk. Somebody was high, you know what I'm saying? Cause somebody gonna be drunk, alcoholic, crackhead, blowhead, and they gonna all come with the stupidest narrative and say this girl walk in the fucking freezer. So look what that Irene live video can stretch out 3 hours. That TY live video and Irene live, they done scratched that video to a narrative. Now you looking for Kenneka from 3 in the morning on the footage. And the whole time she on the footage getting led to death.
Kenneka at 3 o'clock. So let's look at a Brianna statement. Because this bitch right here, she gave a statement too. And her shit, she says that she left the party at about 2:15, 2:30.
12:30.
Okay? So my thing is, okay,
so look,
when she left at 2:15.
So check this out. Bree actually came back. Check this out. When Bree left right about 12:26. Bree came back to the hotel right at 1:30. What was Bree at for an hour? And guess who she gonna be in the car with? CC. She gonna be in the car with CC and Mike. Miss Teresa dyke ass knees. So where they gonna be at? If you want to lick and bust in a murder, you know what I'm saying? You ain't finna be out. I need a GPS girl because I need to go pick up some trees and some pills and stuff. None of that. Bree knew to get out of there, cause guess what? Bree's finna be working with Miss Teresa, and they gonna use Bree to be contacting Uncle John and Smacks them. Mm-hmm.
15, 2:30. Was Kenneka still good? I mean, was she still, moving around alive? I mean, it don't seem, that information wasn't given, and that kind of bothers me. Okay. But when she said that she left at 2:15, 2:30, remember that interview that Irene did with Zach TV? I know y'all remember that shit. In this interview, Zach tried to narrow down when the last time Irene had seen Kenneka, and she was talking about how Kenneka was drunk, laying on the bed, but she kept saying it was 2 something. It was 2 something. And then Zach TV, he said some shit like, well, where was Bree Bree? And she was like, oh, Bree Bree was already gone by then. So basically what she was saying was when Bree Bree left, or right after Bree Bree left, Monifa basically carried Kenneka out of the fucking room.
So now y'all finna see why they want the world to believe Monifa and Shamaya carried Kenneka out the room. I'm finna show y'all the reason why they said that to cover this up. If this going on, if this live video was at 12 something, going on 1 o'clock. Look, man, I'm finna debunk the shit out of Liver Nora and Mr. Reese. Cause watch this. This video was at 12 something, going on 1 o'clock, and listen to what you heard.
Don't be so loud.
Yeah, it's too late for that. Yep, there go the manager. My car keys, my weed. That ain't no motherfucking manager. Oh, it is a manager. It is a manager. Shit. On BD.
So when he's, damn, my bad, y'all. So now look, when you heard the manager came in there and said don't call the cops, cause this reason why they said Monifa carry out the room. Nah, she ain't carry her out the room. Where the picture at? Hold on. Damn, did I lose the picture? Right here. So if you got this going on round 12 something, going on 1 o'clock, ain't nobody carrying nobody out the fucking room. Look, ain't nobody carried, clear as day, ain't nobody get carried out no fucking room. So that's why they had to give us this video round about this time. So they just debunked Leonora, Mr. Reese. They just debunked the whole fucking investigation. She wasn't drunk. Ain't nobody goddamn it drugged that girl or nothing. That girl simply met up with a dude. And this could be possibly the family member, cause if he related to Irene, and Irene related to him, and Irene related to Kenneka, and Kenneka related to Irene, that ain't no normal nigga she meeting up with. That's another family. So Miss Teresa had to hype that shit up. Look, that's why Monifa had a big. If y'all look at Monifa when she was getting blamed for that, now look how Monifa took that. Y'all know that shit was hurting that girl. To be honest, like man, they got these people believing this. She had to take all those body blows. That's what Miss Teresa wanted. This was finna debunk everything. How would Monifa would set up Kenneka in the room full of family members? That means the family member put her up to it. So yeah, boom. It still go back to the family. So when they came out in the beginning, Monifa brought those dudes at the party. Monifa know those dudes. Same dude that these people were pointing out as Miss Teresa people, bro. That's crazy. That is crazy. Now you see when every time with Trey Gang used to have a troll in the chat, cause I used to talk when I talk about the timestamp, and when my TB hot, when I be trying to break it down between the hour or 1 and 2 o'clock, trolls in the chat. I'm like, what the fuck? Now I see why. Straight Drop was like, yeah, did it happen at 1:30 or 1:50? Now I know what you mean by that. That's why they said don't. That's why they said don't call the cops. Cause Kenneka finna come out their room and guess what's finna go down? Y'all. You see it right here. This was finna go down.
Off that pappy ringtone.
It's like one of those. Nah, ain't no 2-cup shit.
Who said that?
All right, y'all, 6:30.
I just want 1 cup. I just want 1 cup, folks.
2 cups. That shit straight out.
What you want, folks?
I ain't on that. All right.
What? No. Bank game.
Y'all better chill out over here.
Oh, babe, the biggest bees in here for bank.
Y'all alright in my love, baby. Yeah, for sure what you been doing now. Get that put out. It's big bees for big.
And they know the girl finna leave out the room and they talk about what's finna happen.
That gyro shit dead in here tonight. That gyro shit dead in here tonight.
I'm from the Renegade. We Renegade.
We crazy crew, baby. Big C.
Hey, didn't you say turn the music off, folks? Y'all don't listen, folks.
Jump out.
Don't listen, folks. Don't listen, folks.
Now y'all see that? So now look, that's why they got this video showing Kenneka finna leave out the room. They finna celebrate. So look, boom. Guess what? So round 1 some, look how everything popped off.
Okay, so let's look at what Bree says what happened when she came back. So she said that she got back to the hotel at about 3:10, and when she got back,
1:30, 1:31 to be exactly on the footage. Check this out. So Bree left at 12:26. Check this out. So when Bree left, look at text. Look what time she'll be texting Uncle John now. They will be already at the hotel, Miss Teresa family members. So she will be texting them round 1:10. So he will be there. Look what's on the footage round 1:10. Look at the whole family fucking tree on her. Bam, watch this. You see this? So Bree come back in right after this shit.
back, the party's still jumping, but Shamaya and Monifa tells her that Kenneka's missing. This is at 3:10, okay? What happened to y'all leaving after 3 o'clock? Did y'all run into Bree? Like, what the fuck? It makes no sense to me. But they basically gave her the same story that they gave Lenora, and that was that they went back into the room, and when they came back out, Kenneka was gone. And I can't wrap my mind around this shit because my thing is this: all these people talking about they saw her after 3 o'clock. In what room is what I want to know? Because in my opinion, Irene was telling the truth when she said that they left the room that she was in anyway. They left at 2 something. So where the fuck did y'all see Kenneka?
No, they ain't leave the room at 2 something. At 2 something. They came back in the room at 1 something. Cause check this out. When Bree come back in the room, he come back in the room. Man and them come back in the room. Or did they go to room 926? Cause I don't believe they was in their room. They could be coming from the pool area. You ain't got no elevator footage. Be like, where y'all come from? Oh, we were coming from the room. I don't believe that no more. Shit. Now they said 2 o'clock. According to Lenora's story, that bitch knew how to tell a lie. Cause she was like, I got video that said 240. That said 250. Again, look what it's covering it up. She don't want you to look at this at 240 and 250. Cause look what it's gonna put her ass in.
At 3 o'clock. Where was she? Somebody need to clear that shit up for me. Where was she? And then my thing is this: why would y'all tell her sister that y'all left her in the hallway at 2:30? Like, all this shit is bogus, man, and none of these times is adding up. And if you watch my previous videos, you'll know where I stand in this shit. But yep, I'm back. 54 keys. And in 2018, man, listen, this hashtag, I'm on your ass. Know that. That's the way we gotta be, man, because I want to see justice for Kenneka, and I want everybody that had something to do with this shit held accountable for that shit, man, because it was so wrong. So today, I want to talk about Bree and this text message that she sent that's in the police report that you can find in the police report, and also UTC time. I know there was a lot of confusion in the beginning about the UTC time, but when I Googled that shit, I found that as far as UTC time, it is 6 hours ahead of Chicago. In the beginning, we were talking about 5 hours. I don't even know where the fuck we got 5 hours from, because they were talking about subtract 1, add 1, and all that shit. But man, listen, let's go over this text message, and let's talk about this police report from Rosemont. It says, on 9/20/2017, I analyzed and reviewed the material from the forensic phone examination of blank personal cell phone. The examination provides detailed information from the phone, including text messages, call logs, pictures, videos, etc. I was not able to observe any pictures or videos that may have been taken at the Crown Plaza Hotel from the night of 9/8/2017 leading into the early morning of 9/9/2017.
Say goodbye to expensive dentist visits forever. Introducing the all-new 6th Gen silicone dentures, co-developed with world.
I was able to observe conversations Abriana had leading up to her attending the party and after Kenneka Jenkins went missing. The text messages are as follows. So before we get into this text message, let me tell you something about this right here. This is what bothered me about this part right here. Because although they had all this detailed information from the phone, from Abriana's phone, they weren't able to get any pictures or videos from the night of the 8th, leading into the early morning of the 9th. And you can't tell me that this little girl didn't have her motherfucking phone out, like she wasn't recording and taking pictures and all that good shit, thinking she was on some fly shit. You know how motherfuckers do. So my thing is, why wasn't they able to retrieve any pictures or videos? But yet they got text messages and call logs? Nah, what I think happened is Bree was smart, and she got that shit up off her phone, because I think she had some shit on her phone too, as far as videos of what happened to Kenneka, and pictures and shit. I think shit that might show that Bree probably smarter than the rest of them bitches. I mean, because hell, I just talked to y'all about the text message that Monifa sent Irene with the fucking video in it. Bree Bree didn't do that shit, man. It sounded like to me that Bree Bree got rid of all that shit. So, maybe she is the smartest. But anyway, UTC time, when we talk about being ahead 6 hours, the first text message that Bree Bree sent was on 9/9/2017, 4:35:05 a.m. UTC. So if we take into account the 6 hour difference, that takes us back to 10:35. Not 11:35, 10:35. And Bree Bree says, "Not yet. I'm finna get in the car with Kenneka and go park her by her house because you don't even know the bitch had a donut on her car." Bree Bree crazy as hell. She crazy for that. But then on 9/9/2017 at 4:38 a.m. UTC, she says, "Yeah, she ain't even tell me. I just noticed it myself. In that hotel in Rosemont, I don't want to be driving on the E-way like that." So what this tells me is that 10:38, because, again, there's a 6 hour difference. At 10:38, she's saying that she just noticed that there's a donut on the car. Now, Kenneka mama and them, everybody was talking about, oh, they left the house at 11:30 and all that shit. I don't think that's the truth. I think they left a lot earlier than that, probably 10:30. You know what I mean? Because by the time she get Bree at 10:38 is saying she just noticed that there's a fucking donut on the car and she don't want to be riding like that. And I feel it though. I ain't even mad at her for that shit. I wouldn't want to ride like that either. But then this one text message that really, really stood out to me was on September the 9th, 2017 at 9:05 a.m. UTC. So that means that it was sent at 3:05 Chicago time. Okay? And the reason why I think that they may have arrived at that party earlier than they first let on, you know what I mean? Because I'm thinking she got there at 1:13, like a little after 1 o'clock in the morning. But they had this piece of evidence from the Rosemont police, and it's from a little guy that was at the party who was a juvenile who needed his mama with him at the fucking police station. His young ass shouldn't even been at the fucking hotel party. But anyway, if you look in the second paragraph, he says that he was present that night on the 9th, and he arrived at 2100 hours and left around 400 hours. So you got there at 9 o'clock, nigga? You was there at 9 o'clock from 9 to 4? Shit, I don't think Irene them got to the motherfuckers about 10. Oh well. But,
So to make a long story short, right? Y'all just heard it out her mouth. The juvenile gonna make a statement with his mother. If the juvenile is related to Miss Teresa, who is the mother? Is that one of Miss Teresa's sisters? That's the crazy part about it. The whole investigation is exposing the family tree. They didn't interview nobody outside the family. So that's why Miss Teresa and those YouTubers had to come out and tell you, the 3 o'clock conspiracy, the 2:30 conspiracy, and the emails and YouTubers reaching out to them, and all the YouTubers collaborating and beefing and shit. That's why they made Trey Gang the target. Cause guess what? Everybody can vouch for this. When it comes to Kenneka Jenkins case, Trey Gang always be stuck on that goddamn 1 and 2 in the morning with their footage being off at 2 hours off the footage. Would never let it go. Would never stop talking about this shit. Now I see why these people was targeting Trey Gang just that one alone. No wonder why I had Azaria Walls in my fucking box. The real best fucking friend. Cause every time I was getting close to 1 and 2 something, they giving me more narrative. Check this out. The family, all my narrative that I ever got was from the family, the hotel staff, and my research alone, and my research debunking both of them. Look.
But most importantly about his statement is the fact that he says at approximately 2300 hours, Kenneka arrived with 2 female friends. Now, for all you who don't know what military time is, 2300 hours, that's 11 o'clock. So my thing is, I'm like, damn, why would he say that? Like, I mean, they got there at 2300 hours, that's 11 o'clock. That's why, I'm starting to think that they got there a little earlier. And then,
So when you think about it, if Irene didn't have the keys to the room, who actually had the keys to the room? For everybody to be already in there, juveniles. Before Irene got there, and keep this in mind, family that booked the room. So shit, did Miss Teresa would have keys to the room?
Planet of the Fakes just came out with some shit where they were saying that they found out that Irene Live was at 11:36 instead of.
There we go. That's all I want y'all to hear. Do this make sense? When she made this video, keep this in mind, Planet of the Fakes. Now she made this in December 2017. Couple of months after the girl's death, right? This just to show you proof that she actually knew that the lies were actually at 11 something. And this lie was at 12 something, going on 1, right? So that's why you got this. She knew there were balls in the lobby at 1 something.
I'm coming to y'all today, papers.
Cause I just let you hear all the statements. This for finna bust her ass up. Cause everything with Trey Gang speaking on there, like, yeah, that is Kenneka. And this actually at 1 something. And then look what Trey Gang exposing all on the footage. And then look what he exposed through the paperwork. So you knew that was her in that lobby balls. So your narrative fitting just like Andrew Holmes.
At a 1:36. And then, that's why, I'm starting to think that they got there a little earlier. And then, Planet of the Fakes just came out with some shit where they were saying that they found out that Irene Live was at 11:36 instead of 1:36. And it makes sense. If she got there at 11, remember she sent that text message like at 11:02.
She got there at 11. Irene went live around 11 some. Then when T.Y. and them showed up, look, watch this, y'all. Check this out. Look how all this finna make sense. When she got there around 11:13, right? She gets there. Boo Boo would leave. That's why the cousin said she only showed up with 2 of her friends. So Boo Boo didn't go in the room with them when she showed up with these 2. So boom, while Boo Boo downstairs stalling and all this and everybody else stalling, then he come in. If this at 11:46, right? You gotta wait till they come in. This at 11:46. Boom, this at 11:50. That's why you ain't gonna see Boo Boo in the live. Look. So T.Y. will be going live round about this time. Right? When they come back in the room, notice you ain't go to see Leonora. You gonna see her in the bathroom. In the bathroom, right? That's why there was another distraction. Cause Leonore was sitting on the toilet the whole time, and that's why they want everybody to be focused on their little cup of water. Tell me, it's some drugs and they finna go drug a nigga. No, they was Leonore in the bathroom. So look, when TY go live around 12 some, now look, boom. It had to be when they come back in. Cause when they come back in at 12, boom, that's when he will be going live. And boom, when they will be going live, that's when you get the manager at the door, don't call the cops. And so boom, after TY live, this show you proof everybody was leaving out that room at 12:55. That's at 12:55. So she around at 12:55. Look what's finna happen at one song. Bow. Now she come out the room. Just like the people told them folks, don't call the cops. And I always want to know why the hotel manager would be saying don't call the cops. Cause shit, boy, look what's about to happen. So it all match up, and that's why 54 said, oh man, that's not Kenneka, that's balls. Look.
And I want to start with
watch this
right here. Because this was one of the weirdest things.
Let me start it off from this, John.
And we was all in an uproar. Everybody that took a hold to this case couldn't understand what had just happened and what they was trying to tell us. Now, there was talk of, release the tapes. Everybody wanted to see the tapes. We wanted to see Kenneka actually walk in this freezer. We got the lives from Irene, from Ty, and then they finally gave us the footage. Now, when all of this started to happen, there was a lot of people reporting on this case. YouTubers, newspaper articles, the news broadcasters. I mean, everybody was on this case. Now, one article in particular came out. I highlighted it right here from the Chicago Tribune, and it's dated September the 13th. Now, in this article, now again, this is 3 days after they found Kenneka. In this article, one of the things that stood out was the fact that they said at 3:20 a.m. that Saturday, that Kenneka was seen on surveillance video staggering, drunk near the front desk, according to authorities.
So the police had to go along with the narrative that Miss Teresa put out with the video. Oh, 1 cup is too much for her. Right? So that's finna show Kenneka just only had 1 cup. You know what I'm saying? I seen her take a little sip of it, but I don't know if that was alcohol. I don't even know if that was really liquor. That could have been anything. That could have been some sweet tea. So basically what I'm saying, if you got the news station telling everybody, hey, she is in the lobby. This one thing everybody agrees, she will be in the lobby. But you gotta go with Miss Reese said she was drunk staggering. This ain't finna show nobody drunk staggering. So y'all see this?
Okay. The family says they wasn't told about this until 10 p.m. that night. Saturday night.
Shit.
Because we all remember the footage of when Miss Teresa and them went up there. Remember at about 8:30, they called the police on them. Because they up there trying to find Kenneka. Now, in this article right here, at 3:20 a.m., this is what was going on in that lobby. Pay attention.
Run some. Boom. Busted. Don't call the cops. Don't call the cops.
When this girl walked through the lobby, I started to call her Bawbaws because of her hairstyle. You know, y'all know how I feel about that. It ain't for everybody. But she comes in, she start talking to the guy that we know to be Trevante Howard, and then him and her leave out. Now, don't forget in that article, it said that at 3:20, she was seen on surveillance staggering, drunk, near the front desk. She ain't look like she was staggering to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she walked in, started talking to dude, and left. But this is what they put out there. And so for a very long time, you know, we all went back and forth on whether or not this was Kenneka.
And guess who changed everybody's mind? You did. Thanks to this narrative about Bawbaws. But let's go back to this. Don't it match up if they went live at 11 some? This finna expose the video, Livernoria, when they be like, oh yeah, you bust this video one that one bitch. This video one that 240. Like you try to trick a motherfucker. Cause we know the real time.
Two, talking about let me be a thought in peace type shit. Like she was running from a nigga like a motherfucker was trying to hawk her down type shit, you know? But since we going back to the beginning, remember this dude from the beginning with this voicemail message?
After the niggas was trying to fuck her, they was trying to run her. She wasn't for the run, the train shit. You feel me? She was fucking with one nigga. Maya showed me part of the video, but the way it showed her throwing the nigga down on the bed and get on top of him like kissing him. Then she rolls over him, but no one knows that part of that type shit. But she fucking, after she did what she did, they was chilling, they was smoking and shit, and she dunked off on her own. You feel me? Like she dunked off on her own type shit. That's when they got her own video walking past the front desk.
I believe it. Because if we look at this time right here, they wanted us to believe that these girls came in at 1:14. When really, if you look on the left-hand side, it's saying like 12:13. I believe that because remember when she hit this hallway, she cut off to the right and everybody else went to the left. And it was like, damn, where'd she go? You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that she got there early. And remember when Straight Drop found that footage in Irene Glasses where he showed where, like, you know, somebody was climbing on top of somebody on the bed. That's what dude was saying. Dude was saying that Shamaya sent him video of that, and he was like, don't nobody know that shit. You know what I mean? So I'm like, damn, okay, well, maybe he was telling the truth. And like right after that happened, maybe they left. Maybe they went and got a Bluetooth speaker or, you know what I mean, or whatever. But like they left and went and got something and came back. And I think that footage that we see them walking in that hotel is not the first time that that Kenneka had been there. But I think Kenneka, you know, hooked up with some dude. Don't forget this shit.
The niggas was trying to fuck her, they was trying to run her. She wasn't for the run, the train shit. You feel me? She was fucking with one nigga. She showed Maya showed me part of the video. But the way it showed her throwing the nigga down on.
So now you know why we got this video. Cause they're gonna fit Livernoria narrative. You know what I'm saying? And all this Shamaya. This go back to the housekeeper. This go back to all the statements when they were going back to Miss Teresa's family. Talking about, yeah, you know what, your brother ever dated Kenneka and all this old stuff. I mean, that's crazy and bizarre to me that this shit really getting exposed. Like, so the whole time, this whole video is a cover up to have you thinking, oh yeah, she was getting raped. Yeah, it's a video out there that it was, you know what I'm saying? You would rather believe it's a video of Kenneka getting raped in a room on the bed, or you'll believe Kenneka would be getting beaten up some part of the hotel and getting strangled to death. Which one you believe? You can't believe both. Can't believe both. Cause to make your mind up right here is this. You can't believe both. So which one you will believe? Only one video gonna show the truth.
and get on top of him like kiss him. Then she rolls over him, but no one knows that part of that type shit. But she fucking after she did what she did, they was chilling, they was smoking and shit, and she dunked off on her own. You feel me? Like she dunked off on her own type shit. That's when they got her own video.
I believe it.
My husband used to ejaculate prematurely until this.
Okay, so my husband has this fun habit of...
I believe it, because if we go by that footage, and that footage showed them coming in at 12:12 instead of 1:13, I mean, I'm thinking they was there already, and at some point they left. Because remember if Irene's live is at 11:36, he's talking about this dude getting, or Kenneka getting up on some dude or whatever. Straight Drop found that shit in her glasses, so that makes sense. So after that happened, they left, they dipped off. You know what I mean? Came back with some shit. They might, like I said, they might have went and got that Bluetooth speaker. But remember this shit right here at 9/9/2017 at 6:11 a.m. UTC. That means that it is 12:20. Kenneka sent somebody a text and said, "I'm ready to go." And to me, that didn't sound like no text message between some motherfuckers in the same room. That sounded like some text messages between a motherfucker who was in different areas of the hotel type shit. Because at 9/9/2017, at 6:58.
So they just debunked that video. Yeah, it's dudes in the room, laid on the bed, kissing her, touching her, and all this. They just debunked all that then.
AM UTC, which would be 12:58. Somebody says, "Me too," and I said it looked like his dick little. Okay, so first off, who the fuck dick little, and who she talking to? This is crazy. This is crazy. I think Kenneka did. I think she dipped off. You know what I mean? And I think that something happened to her. And then we see her getting out of the elevator at 2:26, not 3:30, not no shit like that. The timing is off, y'all. But I'm on their ass. And like I said, I'm about to do this in part, so I got another part coming, and I'm about to try to put this shit together, man. But
tune in tomorrow.
And that's why you got Kate 420 talking about Charles Dorsey. Look, Charles Dorsey, right? Now, don't this make sense? If you got Charles Dorsey, that he related to Charles Dorsey, they related to the Nesbitt. They related back to the Nesbitt and the Davidson family. And it linked back to the Jackson. So if you do a little research, right, you'll figure this out like, oh, Charles Dorsey worked for the news station and he know the Cassandra V-Tech lady. Then not only that, look what news that she worked for. That's why we saw the news anchor dude, the Flacco dude, walking on the footage right behind Kenneka. Then you got Kate 420, and this is in September the 12th, right? Think about what was going on in Miss Teresa's life at September the 12th. Cause y'all remind y'all, they outside in front of that hotel. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at the chat, look how many people there will be in the chat on September the 12th, 2017, and look what will be going on outside the hotel. Boy, this finna get ugly, cause the police interviewing Leonora in front of the hotel, talking about, yeah, we got 5 more of the video. Then September 13th, you got Mitch Reese was like, man, I can't make it to the protest, y'all. I'm in breast surgery. You know what I'm saying? I'm having breast surgery. September the 14th, goddamn Andrew Holmes talking about he saw the footage. September 14th, later on that night, Mitch Reed like, I have not saw no footage. September the 15th, they releasing the footage. But look what's going on September the 12th.
We'll get back to all this, okay? Because, again, we have to remind my crowd that Charles was not there. He was working. However,
So that's why Kate 420 talk about, yeah, I got Charles Dorsey on my live and he finna explain everything what happened to Kenneka. Look.
For 10 minutes now, and she still has not asked him to show his face.
Look how
many.
Check this out. Look how many people in the chat. That's how hot it was, bro. Bro, I remember, man, watching these folks live video. These folks had 2,000-3,000 views in the chat. I'm talking about in the chat. A small person that ain't got no look. That lady ain't just got no big following like that, bruh. I ain't even gonna lie. I remember when, I'm glad that you mentioned Andrew Home. Cause I remember when they was on the phone with Andrew Home, King Rob and them, man, him and Chosen King called him. And they asked him, they were like, yeah, tell us about how y'all switched that body. Andrew Home was like, man, you gotta talk to my lawyer. I swear that was on a live video, and I know at least about 2,000 people in the chat watching and listening to this shit, bro. Then King Rob like, yeah, we know you, Andrew Home. You used to be fucking on Miss Teresa mama Janice. I know y'all was out there in Dalton, cause that's the first time I heard of Dalton, Illinois, cause that were Andrew Home really from. And it makes sense to me, like that's why Andrew Home would show up on this. It's just so much shit, bro, that I done found out. Look, don't Charles Dorsey look like him? Don't Charles Dorsey look like him? So watch this. The cold part about this, he's a security guard. And that's him. Disguising himself as Charles Dorsey. That fucked me up when I learned that. So I was like, damn, Charles Dorsey, wait a minute. That's him. And he's a security guard. They work at Crown Plaza Hotel.
Viewing this guy, first of all, why would he reach out to her of all people? First of all, look at her subscribers. She doesn't even have 10,000 subscribers. Now, she has more than me, but that's not what we're talking about right now. What we're talking about is why Charles would contact this woman, this random woman on YouTube who's never done another video other than Kenneka. Why would he be contacting her? She's wanting us to believe that this man who she's interviewing is Charles. Talking on the phone. You don't have an iPhone, can't FaceTime? Even Google has a dual app where you can FaceTime with a man. But you can't FaceTime with him, you can't show his face for 2 seconds so we can see that it is Charles Dorsey. This man right here. She's supposed to be talking to this man right here.
In a security uniform. Check this out. Want this would be the biggest tea ever? If I show you this picture, look. And he was security, and he worked security. Pie y'all.
Charles Dorsey wants to clear his name. This is who she's supposed to be talking to right here. Look at the chat, guys. Look at the chat. Watch the chat. Her own people know what's up. Watch. This sketchy. I smell fish. Look at this. Does he look? Sketchy. Somebody record this. We gotta listen to his live. Look, I'm gonna let him know that I'm recording. It'll be on my channel.
Your daughter was.
And boom, that's why you got this lady trying to come out. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Her divine light. Speaking of Charles Dorsey, let's go to this. Watch this, y'all. Look, watch this. I'm finna show y'all something. This what they know. Let me exit out of this. Uh-oh. Again, ain't that Charles Dorsey right there in the security uniform with a suit and tie, just like Crown Plaza do? Look. Y'all remember the Renegade? Watch this.
Other light-skinned dude next to Blue Cup in the video.
Listen
Who is
to
your
this.
baby's dad? Feedback. Now I am just going through the food court haul footage, and now we are on the 9th of September, and this is at about 12:47:44 as far as the time stamp if we were going off of military time, or at least 47 minutes into the run of the video. I do not think I don't think that Kenneka's come in yet. I don't think she's come in yet on the clock. I'll have to triple check. I apologize, but anyways,
and she ain't
I just
even
wanted
talking
to show
about
you a
Charles
little bit of
Dorsey.
insight on
Hold up, y'all.
here. So I'm just gonna zoom this down. So this is Blue Cup. Now this is his stepsister, Tanasia. I'm not quite sure who these two girls are yet either. This is a girl who I truly
I just want y'all just to see
sitting
that.
on the chair.
Y'all see it, right? That man is a security guard. Shit, let me show you Irene, goddammit. Hold on. I might need to show Irene. I might need to show him. Let me show all these bastards on this job. That's why you got the news anchor man on that job. Him. Right? Oh, this finna make sense. Hold on, I'm finna pull Irene up right quick. With the same outfit on. I need to show y'all that YouTuber before I get to Irene. Damn, wait a minute, I know I ain't past that, John. I know I ain't delete that, John. Golly. Hold on. Oh, okay, I got it right here. Right here and shit. Hold up. Man, stop playing. Man, stop playing with Trey Gang, bruh. Same uniform. Look. Look how many YouTubers hugging him. A YouTuber. Security guard, security guard, security guard. So won't it make sense that boom, and he was just off duty? That explain how she would end up in the private area. Hi, y'all. That explain why she would be in the private area. Now you can look at him. Oh yeah, he's a kid. He gonna have keys and everything. And then look. In the beginning, they even said Irene worked there. I remember when they said Irene worked there and she would have access to the key of freezer. Kilo Brown confirmed that because she was like, yeah, that girl y'all said they're working at the hotel, she was off duty. Man, look, if I work at a Burger King, when I clock out, that means I'm off work. You ain't finna say, yeah, Trey Gang, you off duty. That sound like that talk like police talking security. If you work in security, you be like, man, you off duty? Yeah, I'm off duty. What's up? Man, yeah, go on out. That's just like Kilo Brown said. So now look, Once you go back to Beach Beauty and listen to everything what 54 Keys said, she even linked it back. Look what Beach Beauty doing. I was watching these videos all over again and I couldn't do nothing but shake my head. Like, damn, they really was putting that out there. Look in the glasses. Oh, you see somebody doing some Kenneka, and the whole time they already did something to that girl and came back in the room. That's why her hair would be disheveled on her goddamn head. Boom. Now look. Charlie Booker. Check this out. She made a video about dude. Look. She made this video about this dude in 2018. Bruh, once you go on the footage, guess who that would be? It's supposed to be allegedly him. I don't know how true that is, but it's supposed to have been him. I don't know. I can't verify, but.
Y'all. Okay, y'all. So if y'all have not heard, they've got Charlie Booker booked in the jail. Okay, thank God they finally arrested him. They found this dude. Y'all, this is the guy that they were looking for in connection to Sadaria Davis and Shantia Smith. Okay, so thank God they got him. All right. Now,
notice the girl's last name is Davison's. Look who killed her. And keep this in mind, when they were telling everybody Zaria Davis, them YouTubers knew that was Kenneka's friend also. So when you look up at the Davisons, go look at the mug shot on Rosemont Police and look at the mug shot. Guess who last name Davis on all the mug shots? Matter of fact, you want to dig in some OT? Now I know, now I think Zach really died behind this Kenneka Jenkins case. Cause the same people that killed him is the same people that he was defending on the footage. The reason why Zach got those interviews, look who will be on the footage. 150 million and Bezo, you know what I'm saying? You got rappers on there jump, then they pull the lick, then you know the LBG Duck story with King Rob and the beef going back with Lil Durk and Von. All of this shit was beef around the Kenneka death, bruh. If you look how Lil Durk, King Von them were beefing heavily when Kenneka died between LBG Duck and them. What I done figure out, a lot of those beef when it came to LBG Duck and King Von, I bet you got something to do with Kenneka death. I bet you got something to do with Kenneka death. Cause they said, cause if you really want some tea, they believe Kenneka had something to do with Lil Durk brother Bankhead death. He got a brother named LD some shit. And he died, and once he died, they started going to war. And that's how Kenneka got caught up into that shit. Look. If you go back to this, look. Now I gotta go to Kilo Brown on this one. Watch what Kilo Brown say about the girl off duty. Hold up. Watch this. She finna dry snitch. So if you got Irene, the security guard, and she could have been possibly a security guard at the hotel, because I want y'all to listen to Kilo Brown's story when she said this.
In the main area of the hotel room, bitch, I don't give a fuck.
So listen to this whole narrative when it come to this, y'all. You got him and Irene, right? You got him, Irene, they both security guards, right? Right? And he ain't got his uniform on. He in plain clothes. Right? So, won't this whole narrative would make sense?
But anyways, so the best friends, like, okay, that's who all came together. So everybody's talking about this Irene girl. Bitch, you jealous and this and this and this and that. Y'all not realizing that in reality, Irene isn't the Kenneka girl's friend. That's not her friend. She's just a mutual friend of the Monina girl.
Hey, no, one aspect that y'all don't nobody realizes how many teens did the police confiscate.
That doesn't matter. I'm not to that point yet, so you're gonna ruin my facts. I'm not to that point. So, anyways, so the friend, so what y'all? Okay, see you fucking me up, bitch. You know I got ADHD. You can't talk to me when I'm trying to get shit together. So
you got it together, sister.
Where was I at?
She was talking about how that motherfucking how that friend was butt ugly, nigga. How she was just.
I was past that.
Than the other one. No, you saying that she was a little bit cuter than the other one.
See, that's where I was at. Y'all blaming the Irene bitch, but in reality, Irene is not the girl that's dead friend. She's just a mutual friend to the girl that's dead's best friend. Remind y'all, the girl's best friend worked at the hotel. Now let me hear how I put the facts in order. Now, the best friend worked at the hotel, got the little bitch Irene a hotel, got her a room for the low. Now, them niggas that was invited to the hotel. Now, remind you, Irene's just a mutual friend. Now, the reason why the girl that's dead was at the party because she knows that's her best friend's friend. That's the party they having. So they all going and kicking together.
So when she talking about the best friend, think about this. Think about Azaria. What she was working at. What was her job occupation? Cause look at it like this here. If Zaria worked at the hotel, Irene worked at the hotel, he worked at the hotel. Right? And he works at the hotel, right? Then you got, he was there. And he works at the hotel. That link back to security and housekeeping. Security and housekeeping. All your interviews come back from the staff with security and housekeeping. So that means when she mentioned the best friend, I'm thinking of Zaria, not Monifa. Cause everybody know Monifa a little too young to work at a hotel. You gotta be 18 enough to work at a hotel, so you know she ain't working at no hotel. You know Shamaya ain't working at no hotel. Right? So you got Little Me housekeeping, right? You got Uncle John there, right? You got Irene there, and she got security uniform. Boom. Then you got him work, and that would explain why she would be meeting up with him. That was explain why Kenneka would go anywhere in the hotel with him if he worked there. He be like, yeah, come with me. This is like you meet your homeboy or something, you know. Say, yeah, man, you off, yeah, man. You ain't got to sit in the car. Come on in, man. You know what I'm saying? Then you just come in. He can lure you. You know what I'm saying? So look at all the connections that you got. Boom. Then this, bam. Then you got the whole family that watch this.
Cause you know we all, everybody knows somebody that knows somebody everywhere, just like Minnesota, just period, point blank. So they all kicking together. So everybody's like, yeah, that bitch was on the live, not giving a fuck about the bitch anyways. In reality, that wasn't her friend, so she really didn't give a fuck to show that bitch too much attention. And she's not on the girl that's dead live. So y'all keep saying like, oh, how y'all on her live but ain't showing her on her shit? That wasn't her live that she was on. She was on the girl's live that got on there and was like, oh damn, I'm putting my face on there and who you talking to? And she was like, girl, don't worry about it. That's who she's mutual friends with. She was low balling and low key talking about that girl's motherfucking phone signal, not the girl that's dead signal. She's talking about the girl phone signal. So in reality, she don't even fuck with the bitch who helped her get the hotel room. She just used this bitch to get the plug.
So check this out. It would make a whole lot of sense. Who will have access to the footage? Won't it make sense? Boy, look at her. It would make a lot of sense who got access to the footage and how it get leaked so fast. Who will be able to leak the footage before Rosemont could leak it? And guess who had access to the footage first? Straight Drop now, King Rob now, Mike Larry now. Man, this shit coming together for me, bruh. It makes sense.
She gonna say, no, she said, I told y'all. She said, I told y'all. Basically, like, them niggas some janky niggas. Bitches is bringing janky niggas around type shit, you feel me? Y'all not paying attention to the facts of really what's being said and what's going on. Now,
So her whole story came from living over in the family to break it down to make it look like, yeah, it was a rape on the video like Shemaya's story with the Facebook call. But guess what? The person that leaked the video, that's Quetta on the video talking to Cassidy, Kenneka cousin. They're leaking the video. That was crazy. Yeah, Shemaya, my little cousin, when she called me, she showed me a part of the video. So now you know everybody need everybody to believe in some type of rape, sexual activity going on in the room, and all this was going on between the hours of 1 and some. But check this out. If you cancel all her story about the shades and all this shit, what's going on in the room and who all in the room, just think about what she finna talk about outside the fucking room. Who she gonna be with? Look, right there.
the little girl that's dead, I don't think was ever on the bed. I think that little girl was in that bathroom, probably fucked up, leaning over that sink on some trying to throw up shit, or she probably was hot type shit or anything, and them niggas kept probably her, cause you know niggas is thirsty as fuck. So I believe them little thirsty ass niggas trying to get they motherfucking rocks off, had they dusty ass hovering over that bathroom door. Meantime, between time, the best friend in there faking like she giving a fuck. So she in there with her friend. Meantime, between time, these bitches is all in the main area of the hotel room, all on live and shit. So you know they paying attention pretty sure them niggas hovering over the bathroom. You know, when niggas think bitches is off they square, they sneaking pussy grabs, and niggas is sneaking little booty clutching grabs, and niggas is trying to see what they can feel and what they can do.
Keep this in mind, she talking about Miss Teresa family members, and that ain't what's going on. You hear me? So she tried to really make these people look like they don't have no relation with Kenneka, and nobody don't know who these people is, because Rosemont blurred their faces in the videos.
See how much your defense levels up, and then they, instead of them, being up front, niggas is testing to see where you at, seeing if you gonna smack them away, or see if you gonna be like, stop playing, or niggas is trying to see exactly how much you gonna defend yourself. And baby girl probably ain't had too much defense of her. She probably slapped leaning over the thing, and that's in the video where we hear, stop, man, stop, quit messing with me. And then the best friend getting bothered because the girl getting irritated. So the best friend like, girl, enjoy yourself. Meanwhile, the best friend butt ugly. So I feel like the best friend liked it, one of them niggas that was with one of them niggas who was liking her best friend, and because you can hear in the background, dude, like, man, you riding with me or what? I feel like that's the hostile nigga. That's the nigga we need to find, because that's what the nigga that was irritated, because she about was moving that nigga around like, man, leave me alone. He probably like, oh, you drunk, you tripping. She like, no, I'm not drunk like that. Like, I'm fucked up. Like, leave me alone now. I realized that I'm fucked up. I want to lay down. And the nigga was bothered by that. He like, oh, man, I'm ready to go. So he turned to his homeboy, who probably was on some ready to fuck the butt ugly friend type shit. And he like, nigga, let's ride out. And he like, shit, I ain't get mine. Hey, come with me type shit. So he probably.
So now look, I bet you there would be that Jarvin Anderson dude that Kenneka meeting up with. So she tried to make it look, boy, y'all see this? Y'all read between Kilo Brown's story. I'm reading between the lines now. She finna collaborate with Living Nora's story. Be like, yeah, this would be going on in the video in the room. Check out the shades. It was suspicious activity going on. They just throw everybody off on the family trail. So boom. While she give you that narrative, she was like, yeah, Kenneka supposed to be meeting up with a dude. Who else Kenneka would be meeting up with? In the library. Right? Check this out. You want me to, y'all check this out. If I show y'all this receipt right here, let's just say, can we all agree, just for right now, for 5 minutes, I need everybody that's watching this live video right now. Can you agree with me for 5 minutes? You can take it back, you know what I'm saying, if you don't agree. Agree with me for 5 minutes. If you agree with me that he's the security guard, that's him on the footage. Right? Him. Right? Him. And that's who she would be meeting up with in the lobby to meet with him. If you agree with me for 5 minutes, you gotta agree with this.
I don't know. Just
5 minutes.
In my opinion, Irene, Monique. Into a motherfucker that worked there. Just think. Let me try to find it. So it was numerous girls in the washroom. So if Kenneka, because Kenneka was drinking Hennessy, remember they was getting drunk. You know, liquor run through your system and make you want to piss or whatever. So they was probably in the washroom. Kenneka couldn't use that washroom, so Kenneka stumbled in the hallway before they was finna leave. Monique and them, before they were finna leave, she in the hallway. They went back in there to get their keys. Left in the hallway. She thinking, I gotta go piss. A lot of it is nothing, but you gotta really pay attention to that footage. You gotta really pay attention to that footage, because in that footage, you know who you see a lot? The fucking security guard. You know who else you see a lot? the fucking maintenance man. Y'all ain't thinking about that. Y'all so busy stuck on like, let's look for Monifa, let's look for the gas. Like, y'all missing a lot of good points. Hold up, I literally wrote this shit on the plane. I swear to God, I'm like, I want to tell y'all, like, I know it's a lot. Like, look, it's impossible. It's impossible to expect or guarantee silence and loyalty from a room full of 20 to 30 kids. That's a fact. Especially from those who were not involved in the crime at all. Someone would have broken or cracked the case by now. Someone would have snitched. I know Chicago is a no snitching zone without we don't fuck with the ops, we don't fuck who did. I was stuck in how she got it all with. Okay, there's no way in hell that a crime was being committed in that room and people did not stop. That's a fact. Look at the situation in disbelief and like, yo, she getting raped, she getting choked, we finna help our friend. Nobody ain't just sit there. So we know that shit really didn't happen. People will have started immediately leaving, especially those who were involved in the shit to clear their name, to get the fuck out the building. Reasons why it wasn't the owner or he wasn't like doing the, he saying like who's like organ shit bomb liberation. What else? Receive and pay. If the owner is team homes hospital equivalent to a drug alley, I just stay and edit it. Employees, once again, it's a reason why none of these kids are in jail for this. Believe me, it's a reason Jedediah outside they really found it in there. I think it's now. You understand what I'm saying? All that shit. They saw her. They are watching the tapes 24/7. Shit. Anyhow, they have camera access so you get to sit under the door so the marijuana, the weed smoke doesn't. Maybe she had to get jumped in the game. If you a hood person in the game, and
hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find the scene. Hold on, give me 1 second.
You and that take you to a motherfucking mill, probably done. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm drunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't make sense. Then they would say, the gangbangers did it. Gangbangers really don't operate like that. Don't put a hit on you. Hood with cameras. Not that. Just think about it. Like, you in a hood, motherfucker gonna do a drive-by, have a motherfucker get you when you're not off shits. Irene was off up in who behind me or who in this. But on another person's page, just what Irene was doing. She went on somebody else. She was scared. And the most obvious suspects. So trust. You don't think the police or the hotel did it. She not showing emotion or Irene did it. You only on them. We caught them. What reason would they have to delete or edit any footage that shows the kids behind it? Like I didn't see shit. So when y'all talking that shit, was it down there with her? But y'all know who was down there with her?
Here we go, y'all. Right here. That's all I want to find. Right here, y'all. Check this out. Right here. If you agree with me for 5 minutes, if this security and security with Kenneka and her people is security, then you got Irene. Check this out.
I think y'all tweaking. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers, was it down there with her? But y'all know who was down there with her? Security.
What? Boy, that go back to this. And that's why Friends K sent that letter and said, hey man, you know when it come to the pool, security was down there. Hold up. Listen to this. Won't it make sense, if you agree with me for 5 minutes, won't it make sense that Kenneka would be lured by security in a hotel that's her own relative? And that's why everybody had to sign contracts with the hotel. Look.
Was looking at shit. Oh, I see this, I see that. I just think y'all tweaking. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers, was it down there with her? But y'all know who was down there with her? Security. When you're in a building like that, you got to think, how do you get access? Who have access to unrestricted areas? Security. Who know the building more than anybody else in that motherfucker? Security. You know, oh, Kenneka was left in the hallway by herself. Kenneka was
That explain how Leonore would know every camera in the building. And this bitch on the news talking about, yeah, the police showed me every camera in the building. No, maybe your folks did. No. So, don't it make sense that if you got family involvement with the hotel, guess who had access to the footage? That mean Miss Teresa and them had access to the footage off the top. That mean that's why Miss Teresa had to play that role. I ain't seen no tapes. Oh, that's why Marco came to me, threatened me. Yeah, bitch. Yeah, who edited those tapes? I said, it might be your ass. Don't it make sense that Miss Teresa would throw a protest talking about show the real tape and she got family, work security at the hotel, and that's the reason why you don't see half of the security on that motherfucker? Shit, all of this makes sense. No wonder why it didn't look. And then Zach know about 51 million was there. The same person that was at the hotel, these the same people that accused murdering Zach. So if you put two and two together, we're like, well, damn. Zach had to die behind this Kenneka Jenkins case, and the same people that killed him had something to do with the Kenneka Jenkins case. And the police knowed it. That's why the police didn't lock none of the suspects up. That's crazy. So when Miss Teresa, check this out, so watch this. Now I can see why the police and Miss Teresa would get into it over that fucking footage. Oh, so Miss Teresa did do one thing, is got access to that fucking footage and manipulate the footage, cause nobody didn't put it out but the bouncers that worked there. It wasn't supposed to be leaked. Cause I was like, damn, if Rosemont didn't leak the footage and they talking about they ain't saw the tapes yet, how these YouTubers got the footage and showing everybody on that motherfucker? Look, you got the corner on her. Look, they exposing all the elites on that motherfucker. Oh, that make a lot of sense to me. Hold on, let me listen to this shit.
In the hallway. Look, I want y'all to really go to Periscope and download the app Periscope. It's a lady on there named Epistit or whatever. That's the lady that purchased all 36 hours of the footage from Rosemont Hotel. How the fuck did she bad? You gotta think about that. Who the fuck?
How you even know it is on Periscope? Cause you ain't even got no Periscope account. So all of that, somebody leaked it on Periscope that were from the family trying to catch the Crown Plaza up without exposing their goddamn self. I see how the game go now. So just imagine Miss Teresa and the police fell out cause Miss Teresa leaked the footage out before they can leak it out. That's why it took so long for Rosemont to release their version. And ain't they did number just release the same shit.
is she the bad? What do we, like, how are you more, like, special than us that you get the baddest footage? Who are you? Where are you from? Are you from the hotel? Did they hire you? Did they want you to put it out? Why did you put out this footage after her funeral? Why? Why wasn't this funeral released right before Kenneka, you know what I'm saying, funeral, when her mother and Lenore was up there asking where the footage at? When they initially went to the hotel, it was asking where the footage at.
So that's finna kill Miss Teresa whole narrative talking about, man, they said they done saw my sister entering or exiting that hotel. Ooh, and that's why some of the hotel probably couldn't find the fucking footage when the police was up there committing Teresa. Ooh, ooh, I can see it playing out like the police like, fuck, they done got the fucking copy of the footage. Yeah. Damn it, Trey Gang. So when Miss Teresa would like show the real tape, she already got what she need on the footage. So it was like, damn, it was like collateral with Miss Teresa. Oh yeah, I got footage too. Cause if you release some shit, I'ma release some shit. Damn. I never would have thought that, bruh. That's why Zach said the footage would be getting deleted for Miss Teresa get up there. The hotel ain't got no reason to delete no footage if these just some gangsters, project ass people coming in there committing foul play in their hotel. They would immediately get locked up. But not if you got police on the team and setting this shit up and you know what I'm talking about.
Why didn't you put it up there? It's a lot of shit y'all gotta think about. What do you say? And they told the mother be patient because a lot of it is nothing. But you gotta really pay attention to that footage. You gotta really pay attention to that footage because in that footage, you know who you see a lot? The fucking security guard.
Notice he ain't said the family. You gonna see the maintenance man and the family, but look who, the maintenance man and the security guard, but not all security. Look.
You know who else you see a lot? The fucking maintenance man. Y'all ain't thinking about that. Y'all so busy stuck on all. Like, let's look for Monifa. Let's look for the gas. Like, y'all missing a lot of good points. Hold up. I literally wrote this shit on the plane. I swear to God. I'm like, I want to tell y'all. Like, I know it's a lot.
Then come to think about it, that's how they know to steal Zach TV and get the footage. Cause Zach never told nobody that he had footage. He just said he had interviews with the people. So now you know the people that broke in this house, guess who it gotta be? The same people he know that was there, and they know him, and they know him for the nigga to know where you stay. Shit, this shit, man, I swear to God, my eyes is open to the Kenneka Jenkins case. Now we gotta figure out, so when they actually place her in the freezer then. That's what we gotta figure out now, cause you see all this going on between the hours of 1 and 2. I don't believe she gonna be in that freezer around about that time. I believe she gonna be put there later on. Check this out. Do some research. You can go to 54 Keys. Look, if you go to 54 Keys and Chloe channel right now, when Zach got killed, when they released the statements and said these Zach murderers, they got their whole name in that job. Guess who we gonna link back to? Miss Teresa and them and the Davidson family.
Look, it's impossible. It's impossible to expect or guarantee silence and loyalty from a room full of 20 to 30 kids. That's a fact. Especially from those who were not involved in the crime at all. Someone would have broken or cracked the case by now. Someone would have snitched. I know Chicago is a no snitching zone. We don't fuck with the ops. We don't fuck with 12. Fuck 12, whatever. But somebody would have said, bro, y'all ain't finna just put this motherfucker murder on me. Y'all ain't finna put this case on me, my nigga. Like, I know what happened. I know who did this. I know she was seen with her. Ain't nobody tell because they really don't know shit. I was stuck. I was like, y'all, no, motherfuckers know something. People don't know nothing when you talk about the Kenneka Jenkins case. Nobody know that. None of them kids know. They don't know that. They was in that partying. You understand what I'm saying? She was left in the hallway. And it's, let me get back to what I'm saying before I tell you how she got in the hallway. Okay, there's nowhere in hell that a crime was being committed in that room and people did not stop. That's a fact. At the situation, look at the situation in disbelief and like, yo, she getting raped, she getting choked, we finna help our friend. Nobody ain't just sit there. So we know that shit really didn't happen. People will have started immediately leaving, especially those who were involved in the shit to clear their name, to get the fuck out the building. Reasons why it wasn't the owner or he wasn't like doing the organ trafficking as y'all be saying and shit like that. The owner is filthy rich. We all know that. Like, he have numerous establishments. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so why would he want a couple hundred or a couple thousand from one particular black girl? You understand what I'm saying? Like, that really doesn't make sense. That's like a big time drug dealer who sell pounds for a living, risking serving a nickel bag of weed to get caught. That don't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? First I'm thinking like the organ shit, but I'm looking like, nah, why the fuck would he risk it to get caught? Y'all gotta take this shit into consideration. What else? Receive and pay. If the owner is harvesting organs or whatever he is doing it in a professional manner, meaning he has a team already set up and he has other business owners he's getting organs from already, such as funeral homes, hospitals, cemeteries, etc. Just think about it, people. The owner risking his business for one body is equivalent to a drug dealer that.
So look, that means Miss Teresa had access to the footage, bruh, when the hotel had access to the footage. That means Miss Teresa had people working at that fucking hotel, and since they work at the hotel, they a part of the organ harvesting. That's how Kenneka would get set up in that shit, bro. Golly. It would make sense. So look, so all that shit Miss Teresa was doing, talking about show the real tape. Now look, they even talk about this where you get Crazy Crew from. Hold up. Man, this got to be the most crazy shit. So since that's how the YouTube will have access to all that footage. Cause no other YouTuber find that footage. No wonder why them other big channels couldn't find the footage and all that, cause they had access to it. So Miss Teresa beat the police with the narrative. She was left in the hallway. Man, I'm finna get on about this junk, y'all. Man, y'all like and share this live video, cause all this make a lot of sense to me now. Cause it makes so much sense to me now, bro, that cause I never could have found out what would the hotel connection would be with the Martin family. I could never make it out, but what I know now, shit. Then these people affiliated with Lil Durk, and Lil Durk known for backdoor motherfuckers. He the real reason why King Von died. Man, that man set Von up. Shit. Yeah, I remember the dice game. I remember the statement, the dice game, when they were talking about, yeah, Kenneka was in the room, she walked over the dice game, cause Monifa took her outside. I remember all that shit. Ain't no dice game. You think somebody shooting dice at a time of a murder? No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. What time is it? Oh, I might go live later on tonight. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, gang, I'll be back. Trey gang, love y'all, man. Y'all be cool and y'all be safe. And I'll be back.